Hello and welcome, guys. This is Golden Lion Tarot here to bring you a timeless tarot reading. So, whenever you find this reading, that is when the message is meant for you to hear. So, we've got 3 different piles today, and our topic for discussion will be what celestial body wants to play with you. All right, so when I'm talking about a celestial body, I am speaking about the heavens, the stars, whatever you want to call it, that hangs out above our heads each and every day of our lives. It is there for us, and all we have to do is look up and connect to the stars, and they will begin to play with you and share their vast wealth of information. Now, I know the more you start getting into astrology, the deeper it gets. There was a day when I was young that I wanted to believe it was real, but it just seemed like that's awful convenient. And how could something, be that simple? Well, once you start looking into astrology, you find out there's nothing simple about it. And it is wonderful, and it's a beautiful tool for people to learn. And I'm hoping someday it just becomes a regular part of our schooling. Okay, so the ancients knew there was information there, and we are just starting to dip our feet back into those waters. So I thought it would be fun to ask the celestial bodies, the planets, the stars, what they would like to do with assisting you. And they specifically wanted me to entitle it, What Celestial Body Wants to Play with You? Okay, so pile 1, we've got this lovely quartz. It's a bracelet that I converted into a placeholder for your pile, and I love quartz. Quartz is ultimately my favorite crystal. I have said many crystals are my favorite, but something about quartz. I know that it is the most dominant crystal in the Earth's crust, and you can find it in every sort of rock type that there is, like sedimentary, igneous, whatever have you. Quartz is found most often. Okay, and I saw that it did this cute little it wanted to be a heart for you, so I'll put it back there. Also, quartz are wonderful for all over body work or opening up all of your chakras, helping us to find more our truth, our destiny, our worth. Okay, and I ask that this crystal does just that for you, pile 1. And pile 2, we've got this lovely, it's in a circle more. It looks to me like turquoise, though the vendor that I bought this from was not able to identify it for me. So, though it's got the look of turquoise, I know they like to color howlite sometimes and make it look like turquoise. I'm not really sure what this one is. It does not matter. I have asked this crystal to assist you with your pile, and it will do just that. So turquoise howlite stones are great for the throat chakra, the third eye also, so helping us to integrate our intuition and to speak our truth. Okay, and then our third pile, we've got this lovely little citrine. Citrines are wonderful for helping people to hone in on their power. Every human being has the ability to feel powerful in a beautiful way, not in a intimidating way, but in a beautiful, worthy sort of way. And I asked this crystal to do that for my pile 3s. Okay, so take a moment to hone in on which pile is the right one for you for this reading, and take all the time, pause the video, do what you do to find your pile, and we'll get started. Welcome to your reading pile number 1. Today we are talking about what celestial body wants to play with you. All right, so we've topped your pile with this lovely little crystal that wants to be a heart for you. I think that's so sweet. This crystal is attempting to play with your heart a little bit in this reading. Okay, now quartz crystal is, like I mentioned in the beginning, it is the most popular crystal to find in the earth, and you can find it in all rock forms, in let's see if I can say that, sedimentary and in igneous. That's what it was. I remember reading that at one point about this crystal, and I wanted to share that with you because I think that's really amazing that that this crystal is so abundant for us. And this crystal is wonderful for overall body health, wealth, and it's great for opening the crown and letting in information so that you can, find your path, find your way, really sink into destiny's call. And no matter where you are in your life, there is still more to be done. I ask this crystal to help open that up for you and link you to your highest path at this time. And all throughout this reading. Thank you, quartz. Okay, so let's pull your cards out and see what celestial body is wanting to play with you. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, right out of the batter's cage, we've got some great, huge energy. Okay, so the sun, as you know, is a very, very important part of our zodiac, of all the astrology signs. The sun, let's just start out with this. Everybody watching this video will know their sun sign. And if you don't, then maybe that's because you're living in a place where that doesn't play an important part. Even in America, it seems that astrology is making a comeback, and even before it had a comeback, most people knew their sun sign. All right, so your sun, the sun is life-giving. It's the flame within the soul. It's your intuition. It's the fiery ambition that pulls you to do something. It's illumination. It's vitality. It's clarity, truth, knowledge. Okay, sometimes our truths may change, so our truths may evolve and change throughout our whole lives. But it's still that thing that illuminates your truth, it illuminates your intuition, pulls you in a certain way, because that's the element of the sun. So the sun is that's why everyone knows their sun sign, because it's really important. It's where you will shine in this lifetime, wherever your sun is placed. So if you're a sun sign Virgo, then you're gonna shine in this lifetime at organization, at helping other people. That's where you're going to find a lot of your light. If you are a sun sign in Pisces, then you're going to find your illumination, your excitement in dreamy things, in poetry, music, arts, creativity, getting lost in your mind, the space in between things. Okay, so the sun is where we shine. It's what fires us up. Okay, so great. The sun wants to play with you. Okay, so if you don't know your sun sign, find out what it is so that you can find out what part of your life wants to shine. Okay, so the sun wants to play with you in first house activities. Very cool. Okay, the first house is all about your identity. It's like the baby of the zodiac. It's the beginning. It's the first house. So the sun will travel through all of these houses. When it travels into the first house, and it illuminates like your individuation. It illuminates change. It illuminates who you are in society, the way people look at you. It's kind of like it can be the mask. People sometimes call it the mask that we wear. The mask that we wear for others to view us, to judge us. It's kind of like the vehicle that you get in. If the first house was a vehicle, and then people could look at your vehicle and judge who you are. Maybe you drive an electrician's truck or a pizza delivery car. That may be just one mask that you wear. Maybe you drive like a Bentley or a Mercedes, and people look at that and they know that you have money and that you may own a business or be the boss of a business or the boss of some sort of company or have a high place in society. Maybe you drive a car that's older, and that indicates to the people around you that maybe you don't have a lot of money, or that you care about recycling and using things until they are spent, or you don't care about the way you look to other people. That could be another reason. Maybe that's not important to you, the way that people see you, or the way. For someone to have a car like that had money, I think is like a baller move, and it's really awesome because it shows that you don't have to have the best of the best and look, a certain way. I love when someone has money and they just like don't have to have the best car or the best of this or the best of that. It's really amazing. It's a beautiful privilege of power to see that, and I don't know, it really lights me up. So me seeing something like that would be my sun. It lights me up to see people do things like that. And you don't see it often. You see it here and there. Okay. So what else is here for you? We've got discontent and boredom. All right. So there could be some discontent or boredom going on in your life. We've got material harvest. Okay, so I see you have harvested things in your life. There are certain things that you're okay. So the sun's illuminating your harvest right now. The sun wants to take a moment and think of the sun in the first house, especially the sun. Think of it as almost like a being, a helper. It wants to play with you. So it wants to play with you. It wants to look at, we've got the sun here above his head. It wants to show you. Let's look at your material goods right now. Is your material harvest giving you satisfaction? Or is it giving you a different feeling? Then we've got sacrifice, number 12. Okay, we've got rainbow coming down on this lovely girl. We've got the Queen of Swords. Okay. Queen of Swords wants to work with you as well. The Five of Cups. Queen of Swords is all about being intellectual. It's seeing all sides of a situation. The sun wants to look into different sides, different spectrums. Okay, we've got Five of Cups, another discontented energy. You could feel at times that someone made you feel like you're stuck in the mud, stuck at the bottom of the ocean, feet buried in the sand, a little bit broken, beat up. Okay, that's no biggie. That means you're human. Okay, then we've got the Council of Animals, and we've got that in the reverse. So it could be that somebody judged you harshly. You could feel that somebody has judged you harshly and they maybe don't have all the facts. I feel like somebody might have pinpointed a problem or a gray zone or a part of your life that maybe you just didn't want to look at, and you're just like trying to walk away, but the sun's like, look at this harvest. Look at what is in front of you. I have brought it to your attention for a reason. Okay, I want to know more about this, the Council of Animals card spirit, about this judgment. We've got completion here. So if somebody judged you harshly, Spirit wants you to know that's because you are actually graduating from something. And this person that almost like pointed you out and put their finger in your wound, they're doing you a favor. Okay, maybe it's not fun to always see how we're not perfect, and when people point it out to us, it's like you want to run away and pretend that it didn't happen. But Spirit's trying to show you, the sun wants you to look at this. Look at this harvest. This is what you've produced. Some things are wonderful. This apple's beautiful. This beverage that you have over here is like really nurturing your soul. Keep drinking it. But there's something over here that maybe you shouldn't just walk away from so quickly. There could be some value, some truth in what this person has brought out to you. Maybe it's the first time you've ever heard this, so it's a little bit shocking. And for others of you, maybe you've heard it repetitively and it's at the point you can't ignore anymore. Okay, like there's been too much light brought on it, because when the sun shines, it illuminates everything. You can't escape the heat of the sun when it is a hot summer day. It even gets in the nooks and crannies of your home. Every particle is warmed by the sun. The sun is brilliant. So if something has been shown to you that doesn't feel brilliant, that doesn't necessarily mean it's not brilliant. Because there's something new that wants to come out of this, something brand new, like a baby being born. Are you going to be able to sacrifice your ego just a little bit to maybe not look like the perfect status quo person? Are you going to let one person or 20 people that plead the same thing to you determine your worth? Or are you able to sacrifice for the higher truth within this? Because there's a flower blooming out of this, and it's there if you're ready to like hold it. If you're ready to open your eyes just a little bit wider, you may be able to touch it, feel the harmony that's rising out of this situation. Tell me about this first house, how the sun. Wow. 5 of fire. Okay, so it's like there's a brand new beginning in something, and you just feel like you're starting out on some shaky ground. Like you feel like you just want to guard yourself, hide in a hole, and just like kind of tiptoe backwards out of the scene, disappear. All right, I get it. It can be a little off-putting when something or someone notices something that you've been doing most of your life, and maybe it's not the most stable, nurturing situation that you thought it was. Okay, let me see. Tell me about this discontent and boredom, Spirit. Wow, okay, so the Queen of Swords is there. I almost said the Queen of Truth. The Queen of Truth is there. So maybe you have been feeling like bored, discontented with your life, and this Truth Sword is swinging in, is cutting through the fog, cutting through the desolation. And it's like, if you've been feeling bored or just not happy with where you are, there's some sort of a lead with this truth. So if somebody said something to you, or you're finding that something that you're doing is not the best, then that's the seed. That's the sun trying to open up, illuminate. So maybe it's time to just look at this for a little bit, because once you do look at this for a little bit, let's see. Give me a card for that, Spirit. I want to see what happens after this person, after these people look at this truth. Wow. Oh my goodness. You got the Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Earth. That's you being a boss bitch. Just standing in, wow, the fruits of looking at this are just like, I can't even explain them. They're going to be so beautiful. It's like the brand new beginning of something magical, something that you don't want to miss. It's almost like this is your destiny. You're not going to miss it. It's just, if you allow yourself to feel so woeful and small and a victim of your circumstance, then this rewiring of your brain will not take place. It's like, this could be something so small and minute. Say you've been, acting a certain way most of your life, and you just kind of like, it's almost like I see someone just like by default, by muscle memory, just like going about their day, like how you drive a car without thinking, or do the dishes without thinking, or I don't know, whatever you do, you swim or you ski, snowboard, run, walk. These are things that like we build muscle memory with, and we just don't put a lot of thought into it. We're kind of going to like an unconscious mode with our bodily function, and we kind of like can daydream and just keep going. I feel like that's the sort of energy that is caught up around this sort of truth. And then this truth comes in, and it's like maybe someone has said something like this to you before, or you're going to hear it again, because you're going to get to a point that you just don't ignore it. Because when you ignore it, you feel like you're standing up for yourself, and like that's beautiful, but I feel like it's not beautiful sometimes. Like putting a lot of fiery Mars energy into standing up for oneself is a great thing when you're standing up for like a beautiful, harmonious thing. But if you're standing up for something that isn't working anymore, I feel like this is a truth that has changed. Our truths evolve. They're allowed to become null and void. Standing in one's power can be humbling. And when you take a moment to show kindness toward the fact that you're only human, I shouldn't say only human, being human is a great gift, but that you are human, and none of us here are perfect. We wouldn't be watching this. We wouldn't be able to synchronize and come together. If we were, then we would be like the angels. We would be harmonizing with them, and we would be past the earthly endeavors that we run into each day. But we're here. We're trying to do the best we can. And sometimes it's like you come to the point that you find out that you might be able to do something differently. And that might just be admitting that something isn't working for you anymore. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the universe. I keep seeing you like standing up, like this beautiful feminine energy that has gone inside and done some work, and then just coming out like, I'm coming out, and they can just, it feels like you're going to be like walking on air, because you feel it's so powerful by being imperfect and knowing that you're human. And then it's like this brand new truce begins, and this brand new first house energy comes in, and you're able to nurture compassion, have compassion for yourself and others in a whole different way, instead of being like a crabby ready to bite someone because they shone a little light on a delicate matter. All right, so let's see. Tell me about this Five of Cups. All right, we've got the Princess of Discs. So kindergarten teacher. Okay, so for some of you, this could be like an energy that like predates today. Okay, it could interfere with some sort of like childhood infliction, or childhood trauma is going to be connected to the situation, or like the first time that you lost your footing when you were a child. Like, this energy is predating big time. You're going to heal something that has been within you for decades. And it could, maybe your first disappointment was when you were like a child in kindergarten, or a young child in school, or a young child dealing with their parents or friends. Okay, so if you've had disappointments, it's sometimes out of disappointments comes the greatest of abundance. Sometimes, my friend, and let's pull one of these. Sometimes you gotta break a few dishes or get rid of a few dishes if your cupboards are overloaded. All right, it's okay to break a few things so that something new can come in. Freedom. There you are, coming out of the cage. This beautiful, self-assured, beautiful person that has their ego in check, and they're ready to begin like a whole new, it's like once you open that door, there's such a brand new feeling that all the chains that held you back are just gonna find a way to dissolve. So this is like a beautiful new stage coming in. The sun wants to illuminate something. And the sun is fierce. Okay? The sun is fierce. Sometimes it can be a bit much. So maybe something that felt a bit much has happened in your life or is about to. But just remember that the sun is here to bring out a new passion. Okay, so this was a really beautiful reading. I send you so much love as you continue on investigating this energy. And if any of you are able to donate monetarily at this time to me and my family, I would surely appreciate this gift. If you are called to do so, there is a PayPal account down below, and a link to take you there, and it should show you how to go through that step. Most of us know how to work with PayPal. Okay, so I send you so much love. I ask you to please subscribe. Please like this video if it touched you in any way. And I send you so much love as you continue celebrating you. Take a lot of time to nurture yourself, okay? And love on yourself. All right, until next time, take care. Welcome to your reading pile number 2. Today, the celestial bodies wanted to work with you, so they came through and asked to entitle this reading, What Celestial Body Wants to Play With You? All right, you chose the either turquoise or howlite. I guess it's a bracelet, or you can use it as an anklet, or you can also use it for wrapping it around things. Okay, but today I ask these crystals to assist you with nurturing yourself, with soothing your emotional needs, and helping you to get good sleep at night, if that is the time of day you sleep. So I ask these crystals to do all of that for you during this reading and as you go about the rest of your day, week, and month. Okay, so what is it? What celestial body would like to play with you, pile 2? Dun, 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 dun. The moon. Okay, so the moon is a big illuminary, a celestial body in the sky, and it is linked to the inner part of the self. As we see on the card, it says the soul. The energy pulls, or the moon pulls energy to the surface. So when there's something brewing inside of our soul or inside of our being, the moon has a tendency to pull it out of us. Just as the moon pulls and pushes the tides in the ocean, it also pulls and pushes our emotions to the surface. Beautiful. So the moon wants to help assist you with an emotional energy that may be brewing within you. Okay, so we've got the 3rd house messages. So this is how I asked how the moon would like to interact with you. So the 3rd house is all about, let's see, it's the Mercury house. So Mercury and the 3rd house have to do with sending, receiving messages. So how we communicate with the people around us. It is like a very multi-talented area of the zodiac. It's the strategizer. It's seeking information, debating over information, having long, in-depth conversations, strategizing, understanding how other people feel versus how you feel. The way we either bark orders or we gently speak to one another with mutual respect and understanding. Beautiful. Oh, and lastly, we got Chiron, which is all about healing, as the card indicates down below. So this is not a small healing. This is an enormous healing. This will be tied to the reason that you are on Earth at this time. So for all of the ones that chose pile 2, you're going to have some serious core wounds that you're going to be healing within this lifetime. So it could be, and for some of you, you might say, I don't really have, for bunches of you, it's going to be easy for you to know exactly where your pain has been distributed in your life. For others of you, it might not be so easy to feel what this core pain is, but nonetheless, there is a lesson that's trying to be extracted at this time. The moon is trying to surface a lesson. So, how could you find what this core wound is? If you're not into astrology and looking at your birth chart, then the best way to find what the core wound is that you're dealing with, that the moon's speaking of, is to really look at where things have not gone the way that you would have liked them to go within relationships within your life. It could be with your parents. It could be within your love relationships, or it could be within your own children or close family members or close friends. A lot of these core wounds are going to be established from a very young age, because it's going to be like a deep-rooted, like almost like bondage, like that you have been in bondage. Like this is like a deep-rooted pain that has bonded you to feeling negative toward a certain situation or a certain person. So the moon is going to be, if you're not sure what that is yet, the moon is going to assist you with bringing that to the surface. And it's going to, this isn't something that you're going to be able to like work through overnight. I need to be honest about this, because this is something that could have been suppressed for many, many years. But it tends to be something that you have dealt with in past timelines. So usually deeply rooted wounds tend to be suppressed, but then they end up coming out like within current relationships through, I don't know, being like codependent within relationships, or jealous within relationships, or overbearing, or sometimes people like to like suffocate their partners when they fall in love. Controlling. It's going to be different for all of you. I'm just trying to throw out some ideas of what this contract could be for you. For a lot of you, it's going to be within like the people that you've been committed to within your life. Okay, we've got harmony. Okay, so there's another deep commitment, something that has made the heart cry, the heart suffer. I realize it's going to vary a bit for everybody. And this is not a negative reading by any means, so please don't click off this, because we're just getting started. And this is like, I feel like a really tender, beautiful session right now. I just like feel like the tone has been set for clarity, healing, and like a little bit of structure and devotion toward nurturing yourself. Okay, we've got heartache and loss. Okay, so this card is referencing to me past life influences again. Okay, we've got suspension, the hangman, number 12 in tarot. So beautiful. Time to get still. This man is oozed in amber and he's not going anywhere for a while. It's time to look at something. Maybe look at it from a brand new vantage point, a brand new point of stillness, which isn't something that's going to just happen like that. So we need to relax a minute. We've got the king of, I think it's the king of clubs, I want to say, but it's not clubs. Clubs, spades. Okay, so it is clubs. If I said that wrong, I apologize. I haven't played cards in a while, but I'm getting a bear energy. Some of you may act like a bear. Some of you may act like a bear toward the communications in your life. Some of you out of nowhere just automatically, like this core wound brings out this grizzly, this torrential downpour of emotions out of nowhere because of the suppression of this energy. It's like you would prefer to just be this calm, collected individual, but because of this core issue, it's like some shisty energy gets morphed into this, like, it's like this foreign energy gets morphed and out into the strangest places, and you don't even expect it because this wound hasn't been properly managed. Ooh, the Magician. That is amazing. Spirit wants that card right over the moon. So that tells me that you have the ability to sit with this and really feel it right now. Spirit wants you to feel something. The moon wants you to feel something. The moon wants you to know that this situation is putty in your hands, even though it feels like it's monumental and it's unchangeable, unmovable. That's not true. Oh my goodness, I didn't even look at this card yet. You've got the Hangman again. Okay, so you are being illuminated right now. This energy is going to be surfacing in your life. It could be at the time of the full moon. I know there's a full moon in Gemini coming up. It's like back-to-back full moon Gemini energies, which correlates to this reading. So could be around that full moon Gemini energy. There's one like in the middle of December. Not sure when you're going to be getting this reading, but for some of you, that's when a lot of this energy is going to be unearthed and you won't be able to dismiss it out of your life anymore. But I feel a sense of calmness, a sense of just sit back, put your legs up, grab like a really beautiful cup of coffee, cup of tea, something warm, something to nourish, something to, and if you're in a warm climate, then something chilly to, something like an iced tea to nourish your heart. Fold your hands, relax for a moment. Okay? There's something going on here about receiving and reflecting upon what you're about to receive. Could be this has been coming up for you lately. All right. Yes, for more energy on this moon, Spirit. Wow, total transformation is coming to you out of this moon energy. So you've got the Death card over the moon. So I feel like there's energies that it's like this. A lot of people allow their emotions to rule them, okay? But emotions are supposed to tell a story. They're supposed to show you a story of your intuition. When we have a feeling, it's really a way that our intuition is speaking to us. So say you get angry when somebody, I don't know, tracks in mud in your home and they don't pick it up after themselves, okay? You have every right to go to that person and explain to them that, you know, you should be treating my home with a little bit more respect in a beautiful, lovely way. But if instead you start barking and yelling about something completely different than the mud on your floor, then, my dear friends, that is a suppressed energy that is honestly doing all that it can to bark, to howl, to like set off an alarm bell to let you know that there's something deeper there. As for a card for this Chiron. So you've got the Page of Pentacles, which is new growth. This is like a stable beginning to something. This is like feeling like a child again. Looking at the earth around you in a childlike way. So Chiron may be the deep, wounded, suppressed, wounded healer. But that's because there's a lesson that's trying to be extracted from this wound. Even just being a human at all on this earth is going to give you some sort of a wound, because Earth School is not necessarily easy at all at times. So I see you starting to like put your feet up, becoming still, and addressing some core situation that has been pushed away and dismissed. It's almost like I see you putting your feet up, brainstorming a little bit, and confirming, yes, there is a situation here, which is going to be the beginning of a solid foundation, which is going to uproot self-doubt. It's going to illuminate the way of repeating mistakes that you've been ignoring, or that you've ignored at some point in your life. It's going to bring the attention to the surface. sometimes just seeing different sides to a situation can unearth the different point of views. It's not like if you have a core wound, you don't have to necessarily. I'm trying to explain that some people that have core wounds, they just feel like a victim for a very long time, and all that does is get their wheels stuck in a muddy situation, and here's mud again. So I feel like this is like a sticky situation. I'm finding trouble getting like the proper words because I don't want to offend. And please understand that I by no means wish to offend when I'm doing this reading, but it's some sort of like a muddy situation where things aren't not clearly seen, and there's gonna be a lot of love that needs to be established in order for you to look at this situation. All right, let's find another card here. Show me about this Harmony card, Spirit. Okay, so we've got the Three of Earth, which is all about working on projects. You could have been working on a project with somebody, and that's when this wound surfaced or it began. For others of you, it was like you were born with this wound, and so it might have been increasingly got bigger by your parents. Your parents could have been like a huge opener of this situation, and Spirit just wants you to understand that yes, your parents could have seriously triggered this wound within you, but the thing is this wound is higher and more deeper than your parents even have to do with it. So even before your parents were your parents, this was a wound that you wanted to work with in this lifetime. So though some of it may be their fault, it's also like even of a higher degree than what they could even push into your life ultimately. But your angels are here. Your angels are hugging you. Your angels are opening up like a doorway for you to just like safely and like open-heartedly just explore this. There's a lot of heart energy here, and even with this crystal bracelet, I was feeling a sense of compassion. It's time to have like a big sense of compassion and like empathy for yourself. Accepting the situation is going to be a huge leveling up. Just accepting that this is a situation. I know about this third house energy. Wow, so you've got the King of Pentacles. This is like amazing. You're going from like the Page of Pentacles to the King of Pentacles with this situation. So when the page goes directly from, so when the person in this reading goes directly from a Page of Pentacles to a King of Pentacles, that means that in this lifetime you're going to have a serious like turnaround of energy within this. It's like amending, but it's not forgotten. It's not when you forgive somebody of this sort of wound, it's not in a sense of you're okay with this happening. It's more of just like accepting that it happened and like pretending you don't have a wound like this will only make it fester. But victimhood honestly steals your power. So accepting is a sense of just being kind of in the middle of the anger and the victimhood. So where would you want to be on what spectrum? Do you want to be angry, or do you want to feel like, I'm a victim here. I've been hurt. And it totally like dilapidating your life, ruining it, and making shisty moves and showing his face in the weirdest places, and then you feeling embarrassed of your mood swing. So how do you get to that magical middle place, right? When you've had a physical, a mental, or an emotional, or a psychological wound of that nature. It can feel confusing. It can feel like you don't have like a language to describe what's going on. That's where spirit is trying to depict a sense of surrendering, just becoming still, just giving a sense of communication to the situation is how this type of healing is done. Just acknowledging it, journaling, writing about it. For some of you, you may need to get a little bit of counseling or have therapy of some kind, finding a way to give yourself therapy so that you can find a sense of calm and beauty within the strange foundation that this wound was set upon. I'm not trying to ask you to like totally alter your vision. I'm just like seeing you integrating another piece of the puzzle. Standing securely, just like knowing exactly what's going on. It's almost like this situation was pushed away so that you weren't able to see clearly, but it's going to be unearthing itself. This is that magician energy going from that page of Pentacles to the King of Pentacles. This is the light being shown. This is those repeating mistakes being shown, like you fully agreeing that possibly you have been, or there has been like a rotating mistake that has happened in your life, and maybe you've even gotten to the point that you quit, that you got off of that wheel of that cycle of that wasn't healthy in your life, and now you're in this place of stillness, and the moon just wants to acknowledge the great, that is a huge step, and you're like more than halfway done with this healing. So that's beautiful. And for others of you, you're just starting to break that cycle, or you're going to be breaking this cycle soon. Because that bear that comes up every now and then and just like comes out to attack is not who you really are. And you know it. So when it happens, it's almost like it embarrasses you, but it's just a light it's almost like a blinking light that's coming out saying, hey, there's an issue here. Your angels are here. Your angels want to hold you so that this clearing can be acknowledged. Let's stop exiling this feeling. Let's stop pretending it's not there, and let's devote a little bit of our time and energy into finding out what the reasoning is behind this crazy bear energy. All right, let's grab one of these. The realm of the Fae. Oh, nice. So for some of you, the Fae are also trying to dance and weave some of their magic into this situation for you. For others of you, it's like, and for a lot of you, this is going back to childhood energies, because the Fae resemble our childhood to me. And it's like back when you were a child, you were able to still have a sense of wonderment, and your angels and your spirit guides would like to assist you with it's almost like not releasing this energy, but changing this energy so that it becomes like more of like a magical tool instead of a hindrance. And for others of you, I see, and for a lot of others of you, I see you using this beautiful, when you're able to look at this situation, it's like you're going to be able to bring in a whole new scope. And I see you like speaking to others, because the third house is about communication. So I feel like you might be able to use this as a link in helping others to heal and synthesize this nurturing, beautiful deliverance into like the soul. So it's time to illuminate your inner light so that your outer light is able to radiate a more brilliant light. And for some of you, when you're going to be able to like attract a real love from being able to look at this inner part of yourself. So how this comes out for you is going to be very unique, and it's going to be really, at times you could let it get the better of you, but your angels right now and your guides right now want to let you know that's not what this is for. It's to just open up more of yourself so that you can become more whole and become more deep and become more compassionate to yourself and to others. All right, this was a real pleasure. Also, I'm asking at the end of my readings if any of you are able to also donate to me at this time. My family and I would be very appreciative of this. This reading was very soulful, and I know not all of you are able to do that. So if any of you are able to feel like a compassionate yes, that feels good to me to do that, then I ask you to please look down in the description for my PayPal information, and the link will be right there. Okay, this reading was intense and it was really beautiful, and I send you a bunch of love as you continue on your journey. All right, please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video. This helps me to integrate into your energy and to bring forth more of these readings. Okay, until next time, take care. Hello and welcome, pile number 3. Today we are talking about what celestial body wants to play with you. And those were the exact words that the celestial bodies that I channeled that wanted to come through. Those were the words that they wanted me to use for this reading, so that this reading could take on a bit more of a playful energy. Okay, I was getting the sense that the planets want to play with you. The elements around you would like to play a little bit more, and we've got that energy rolling around all around us at this time. Okay, so you chose this citrine bracelet made of citrine crystals, and citrine is great for the solar plexus and for optimism, for creating more optimistic energy in your life, for presenting more clarity, and for helping one to hone in on their personal power. And I ask these crystals to do this and more for you throughout this reading, and for the continuation after this reading is over, while this reading influences your life. All right, thank you, crystals. Okay, so what celestial body wants to play with you, pile 3? Okay, here we go. Saturn. Okay, so great. Saturn. Let's see. Saturn rules Capricorn. Saturn also rules Aquarius. It tends to be called a masculine planet. It's also a slower planet. We have our Saturn return when we are approximately 25 to 30 years old. Then we have another Saturn return when we turn about 50 or 55 years of age. So you could be at one of those landmarks. You could be approaching one of those ages at this time. Or you could be thinking about the big picture or your material status or the gains that you have made or are striving to make in this lifetime. Okay, so you tend to be looking at the big picture or focusing on that or where you're going to be in a few more years. All right, now we've got, okay, so Saturn wants to address issues of your 10th house. And what's funny about this is the 10th house is actually ruled by Capricorn, and Saturn also rules Capricorn. So this is a synchronicity. Okay, so when I was pulling this card out, I asked the celestial body to give me a reference of where in your life it should this celestial body would like to play. And we've got the 10th house, which let's see, it rules like fatherly influences, things that your father may have taught you, things that were important to your father. And not just necessarily your father. If you didn't have a father, it would be the person in your life that gave you restrictions or that gave you bedtimes or goals to obtain. Even if you were an orphan, if you had adoptive parents or the person that gave you guidance in your life would be a 10th house ruling system, which also correlates to Saturn. So for others of you, this could be surrounding a love interest, possibly a love interest with a bigger age gap. Someone that had more of an authoritative role in your life. Okay, we've got choose wisely. With this hand giving like all the directionals, we've got stop, go, left, right. Okay, but then in the center we have this gentleman that's sitting in a meditative position. He may be hearing different things in his head, but he's able to keep a solid, roots planted, level-headed attitude toward whatever is going on in his life. This person could have some serious situations unfolding in his life, but he's able to stay still so that he's able to get divine guidance. Could be through tarot, listening to tarot readings or meditating, or however you are doing that to keep a stillness. This is going to be the emphasis of your reading. Okay, we've got awareness, and we have it in the opposite direction. So there could be something that you are beginning to gain awareness on, or that you're about to. Okay, then we've got the 2 of diamonds. Some of you may be getting dressed up for occasions, or this could be about the way you present yourself to society. 2 of swords, feeling that you don't know which way to go. Then we've got the 8 of pentacles, working busily, keeping your nose to the grind, seeing the prize at the end of the rainbow, or more like the prize at the end of the race. I'm feeling. I don't necessarily feel like rainbows and sunshines in this reading, more like dedication, hardworking, diligent. We just got some confirmation on your diligence lately. You have had like a concentration on keeping your reputation in a certain way of light. Could be that you're surrounded by people that care about such things as having a nice vehicle, or, you know, dressing a certain way, looking a certain way, and that's being affected in your truth seeking, in your ability to be aware, and in your ability for what you want in the future. Then we've got Judgment. And lastly, we've got Child of Boons. Okay, so this situation is calling for you to remember what it was what you wanted to live like when you grew up through the eyes of your child nature. So what is it when you were a child that you saw yourself doing as an adult? Something to that fact is being called upon in this reading, because we have a lot of boundaries in Saturn and challenges. Sometimes feeling like we are being held captive, like in an extreme way. Like for some people, you'll be working in jobs that you don't find fulfilling, or you feel like you're being restrained in some way, or you're suffering some sort of a consequence from being locked into a system where, you know, proving your worth is by proving how many material items that you possess. Okay, let's pull some more cards here. Let me give a little space to get cards flowing. All right. Let's see more on this Two of Swords card, Spirit. Okay, so you might be in a position where you're not sure which way to go. And that there's a reason for that, okay? Spirit's not trying to bog you down with uncertainties and looking for ways to, like, I don't know, like find mastery in something that doesn't even move your heart or move your mind or move your soul. That's not what this doubt is. That's not why Spirit has put this doubt into your heart. Spirit's put this doubt into your heart to bring out a sense of inner strength from within you. So while you're pondering for some of you, you're pondering what you're supposed to be doing with the rest of your time here on Earth. For others of you, you're just like trying to choose which direction to go in next. And there's different things that are going to be popping up into your mind throughout this reading that might make you feel like, oh, well, this does imprison me, and this doing things like this helps me to feel more open, more amplified in a passionate way. So that's all this reading is wanting to do for you, is to look at your work, look at where you're putting your time, where you're putting your labor, looking at the things that people have taught you, and then allowing you to like become aware of what it is that you want to leave, you know, as your legacy to the people that you love and to the people that will be looking at your life after you have gone. For some of you, you're going to be looking into how you want to create in your next 25 years versus your last 25 years. On this Eight of Pentacles. So we've got the Knight of Earth. Okay, so I see you've been working diligently, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, doing what you're supposed to do to get this work done in a very efficient and beautiful way. I feel like you've taken a lot of pride in your work. I feel that when you leave the job, whoever picks it up after you is like happy to have picked up, where you left off. You've been very conscious. You've put in a lot of conscious effort into whatever this job is that you have been working on. My cat is playing in the background, just playing and knocking things over. This is like the third thing he's knocked over since we've been doing a reading. So maybe some things got knocked down after you worked on them. Maybe somebody didn't take quite the care that you took and didn't take quite the pride that you took, and it has affected your job. But if that's the case, then Spirit wants to let you know that there that the seed that you planted within that situation is being noticed by other people. You may not think that it is, but it is. It's okay to feel like, if you feel like you're doing a better job than the people around you, then this reading would like you to take a moment to like acknowledge the fact that there are more than just you that are seeing this within you. Like, you have been judged, you have been seen, you have been noticed in more ways than you would even imagine that you've been noticed. You have been noticed. So if there's somebody in your life that you haven't like seen eye to eye with, maybe you've butted heads, this person does appreciate you. They do see the good things that you have done and the legacy that you have left behind, and they highly value that. Maybe you haven't seen that out of this person, but the awareness is there. Okay. Choose wisely, Spirit. Actually, we want one different one. Here we go. So for some of you, you may believe that, maybe you didn't choose as wisely as you thought you did when it came to choosing a companion or someone to spend a lot of time with, and you're starting to realize that would you like to incorporate this person into the next, long distant years of your life? Maybe you've become a little bit more individuated since you made this commitment to this person, or in the longevity of this relationship. Maybe I don't know, maybe it needs some purging, or there's been a bit of a mess, like a pitfall, or you've come to like a little messy point in this situation, and it's time to, instead of feel like downtrodden by it, just sit back and maybe weigh out what's going on. Maybe you could set yourself like some time, like a time reward. If by this certain time, or if by this many years, or this many months, if you don't see like a difference in something, then it's time to, reinvent what this relationship should look like. Okay, and it's just, this Saturn wants you to see that this moment isn't here to just make you feel like you've been manipulated, or you've been, miscommunicated to. It's not here for you to just sit around and feel like, Saturn doesn't want you to be stuck in a pessimistic view here. Even though you might feel like you've been sucker punched in some way, this is a cycle that's coming to a completion. There will be stability and harmony and flow. It entering as soon as like this awareness card becomes flipped upright. So that is what's on the horizon. Let's see the Saturn. Okay. So yeah, things just feel like a little murky right now with the Moon card, but the Wheel of Fortune is inevitable, okay? The Wheel of Destiny, the Wheel of getting what you want is coming to you. It's just that there is, see this crab here, it wants to obtain like enlightenment, but there's no way that it's going to obtain this enlightenment unless it walks down this windy, steep, sometimes mountainous climb. Okay, so there is like a functionality in these waters that you find yourself in at this time, and there's like growth within it. And also on the bottom of the deck on these cards here, I have the universe. So the whole universe is conspiring to play with you at this time. And this celestial body even has like a face. Like maybe you could, you know, when you go out at night, you could look up and just like say hi to the stars and hi to the planets and realize that they are like trying to play with you. They're not just like I don't know. We're just starting to learn about these bodies again, right? They were like such a big part of our ancient culture. And nowadays, people are just starting to wake up to the fact that these celestial bodies may be influencing us. So maybe just like take like a little bit of a feminine approach to whatever's going on in your life. And instead of like worrying about like getting something done right now. Saturn takes time to accomplish things. It's like when you develop your reputation, like who you really are, when you pass away and people talk about you, they're not going to talk about what you accomplished in 1 year. They're going to talk about who you were like over a vast amount of time. So no one's going to be judged on what, you know, how they fell down 1 year or how like they were restricted another year or the self-doubt that they had that year. It's not like that. It's more like be true to who you are, because within that truth is going to come out so many more of things that you're going to be creating in this lifetime. You're going to find the truth of who you are by thinking back to the times that you daydreamed as a child. There's some sacred knowledge there for you. There's something hidden in your unconscious mind that is related to you being a child. Maybe you being a child walking in the forest, or walking near a tree, or in tall grasses, bushes, hiding out in nature. You dreamed there, you daydreamed there, you played there. Something about that is linked to this reading. So Saturn is all about like the skeletal structure. It's also rules the skin. So it's boundaries. It's like growing out of constriction. So there might be some constriction within this reading, but that is ultimately for your triumph. So don't be afraid of change, because change is what's going to free something and unearth this childlike part of you. Flow is there, harmony is there, reinvention is there. You have a lot of preservation within this reading, but there's also substance growing out of it. Tell me about this Two of Diamonds, Spirit. Okay, wow, you've got the Strength card twice. So you're also growing out of these societal like pressures that have been put onto you. Something's growing out of that. You're finding out more about yourself by keeping up with the Joneses. There's something within that's going to be like a very vital tool also into the next years of your life going forward, because Saturn's all about longevity, and you've got a lot of longevity here. It's it feels very like strong and stable. Yeah, it's been like a real pleasure to feel this power and this strength and this longevity, and I really like had fun doing this reading and feeling into this energy. And I also need to ask of you, if any of you are able to donate to me and this channel at this time, both me and my children would be greatly, greatly appreciative for that. There is a PayPal link down in the description below if any of you feel that that's something that would bring you joy. And I thank you ahead of time. Okay, so if this reading made sense for you, I ask you to please leave me a like, please subscribe to this channel so that I can continue, making myself integrated more into your energy to bring out more of these readings. Okay, so until next time, take care, everyone.